but they just spawned next to 4 of the thrones, and then you need 5 to win. Like,
Right.
oh,
It's so
sorry,
absurd.
I'm really upset. I'm very upset. Two gods enter. Turn 38. Only one god leaves. Who will it be, I wonder?
So this is a magic phase attack, presumably triggered by stealth units getting activated by a magic phase cloud trapeze on Kalem's god, which is sort of was on its own in this province. And here comes there's foul vapors. It's kind of funny
Yeah, it's kind
against.
of overkilled. Yeah.
I mean,
Isn't it like a 10% proc per unit per turn? Like, it's not. It does not kill single units very fast.
no, but sometimes when your single unit has like 30 defense, I can get behind it.
You'd think, you could have just, like, I don't know, sent more than one swarm cast. I don't
It
know.
was Ares.
I feel like there were other solutions to this problem.
Ares cutting this pretty
But the
close,
actual.
but he's killed most of the other stuff. So that if he just gets a couple hits in the god, it may rout. Well, look, there was
He's not
14.
really
There's some
cutting it
poison.
close. Yeah. The thing is, the god is mostly indestructible, but yeah, there are routes.
Yep.
The god is mostly indestructible except for.
I mean, we saw there was a Moonblade thug. I think if you look in
Yeah, this is
the
the guy.
battle log, he actually kills does lethal damage to the god, and the god survives with luck. That's the
Hmm.
power of the Moonblade.
Yeah, I mean, Moonblade is the one thing that, like, I think that's what why Rob thinks that all these angels can be like super bonkers because they're all magic beings.
Yeah, I mean
But
maybe we need to get used to the meta better.
yeah, I mean, it's expansion, right? You can't. What is Moonblade? Construction 4,
Great
right? There
question.
is arcane bolts, but you can just cast air shield and arcane bolts
Hmm.
goes away. So
Mostly.
I don't think magic being is that bad. Mostly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can
So
always like I don't know. Moonblade still requires you
yeah,
to
so air,
hit if the god has a ton of defense and a vine shield, which that god did not. I think things would have been different. Like all those bugs would have been webbed immediately and never broken out if the god had a vine shield. So that god died on retreat because during the magic phase when that battle happened, Ares still had that fort siege. So Kalem's god had nowhere to retreat and died, which is a big blow to Ares. I mean to Kalem, and maybe will give Ares a little time to make some headway in this war. Yeah, I mean Kalem lost their god this turn. I think. Oh yeah, it's a little rough. They're trading back and forth though, so it's not like no one's clearly got the upper hand here.
we haven't had a really decisive battle yet. We'll have to see if one shows itself. Unfortunately, Aryu's god is a human. He's not probably not going to be seeing battle.
Yeah,
But although there's no decisive battle on that front, there is a couple of other decisive battles here. Um, I guess we can start with the Ermor Tartary War, with a rather Tardu decided that capitals are for, you know, lame people, and so they've taken theirs down. And Ormor has sent a rather interesting little expeditionary force to come assault their capital. I think Ermor maybe expected that they would just bump some PD,
yeah, because
so they
this is a
sent
lot
these
of
sacreds.
really
Unfortunately, they ran into yeah
these are really valuable
they ran
sacreds,
into the whole might. Indeed,
and they've got no
indeed.
chaff with them, so they're taking all the thunder weapons and the banishes. Even though the blood vengeance is killing people who evo them or shoot them, like they don't have regen. Like they do go down after a while.
Yeah, blood vengeance is great, but a great counter to blood vengeance is PD,
Or
or rather,
elementals or anything like you don't care if it does. Yeah, and see
yeah.
they're taking. I mean, Tartary's taking big losses, but a lot of that was PD, and the Ermorian sacreds are just getting taken out, ground down.
Yeah, I mean Tartary lost almost all their dudes there. I mean, they're what do they got? A god and like a few
Yeah, I think
troops
all
left.
the D2 mages
But
died
they,
because they switched to banish and got blood vengeance.
mm-hmm.
But it's especially sad because if you look at
Well,
that Tartary stack on the far left, that stack could have gone to the cap instead of to clean up that province and kind of tanked in the middle for the Sacreds.
this stack over
Or
here.
no, sorry, the Ermor stack that was went west of the capital.
Oh, the Omar
I mean,
stack.
it doesn't matter ultimately.
Yeah,
Like
no, I mean,
Ermor will come back and clean that up later, probably with a stack coming from
yeah, I
below.
mean, it's a loss of gems, but I mean
Yeah,
they'll take it next turn, so probably, hopefully.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Is do you know if this war going to continue? Is this actually a hot war between Uruk and it
Uruk's
looks
kind
pretty
of
good?
poking its head in there. I don't know that there's really a hot war going on. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
Anyway,
Pythium
um,
wanted a piece of the Tartary pie too, so he claims he'll stop there with those two provinces that Harbs just took.
Pythium's always looking to get a very small amount of different people's pies.
Yeah, and who's going to stop him?
I mean, yeah, there are few in the world who can stop him.
Maybe this
Maybe
guy
this
could
guy could
stop.
stop
This
him,
guy could stop a lot of
but
people.
yeah. So Rhodes College is back, fully reformed. Actually, he swapped out his little good stick with a pretty bad stick, but
Yeah.
whatever.
It looks like he didn't lose any
Um,
paths on recall. He must have
most
lost a candle, which is good when you're a
Yeah,
low path SC.
um, it is very good.
So
Um, yeah, so these Knights of Man are pretty good. They're very good. Are they good enough to defeat this crazy bullshit walking statue?
probably not. He's got a
Probably
vine
not.
shield.
Probably not.
He's got a vine shield. He's got
Yeah,
regen. He's got enough shock resist that those
he's size
elementals do
six.
nothing.
Yeah,
He's got yeah,
he's got Wrathful
yeah,
Skies. He's got an
and
Acid Helm. He's got
mage.
yeah. It's just
Man has a lot of mages in the back. Although they're on the other side of the field. They're getting just shredded by the lightning.
yeah, yeah. It's
And
not great.
the god's not taking any serious damage at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was brutal. That was
So
brutal.
let's take a look at the battle report from that. Wow.
Well,
So that
they're dead.
that pretty much takes out man as a nation. Like it's difficult to come back from that. So man actually failed their morale check and left the game. We found a new sub for man, and generously Arco has decided to make peace with them as long as they give back all the territory they took and maybe one or two extra provinces. I assume because it's some combination of Arco feeling nice or Arco being afraid that if it tries to stay in and push man out itself, then maybe Int will jump in.
Could be. Well, yeah, man is now a dead man walking. I think if I was Pythium, I'd be looking to maybe grab this
Yeah,
man
if
land.
I were
Pythium is
Pythium,
now
could
a peaceful
easily
kingdom.
just
If I was Ermor, maybe Ermor could probably turn. They're probably not going to turn onto Uruk because Uruk is pretty good at fighting them. But I think they could turn and really
yeah,
run
in
over
like
this man.
three more turns when Tartary's cleaned up, they could just absolutely crush man. Man, like it just the problem is that man put a lot of gold into cavalry, both the unicorn cavalry and the cheap common kind. I think back when it was fighting Tartary, and then it sat around with 200 cavalry units paying upkeep on them the whole time, instead of putting up forts and making mages, which even while idle can research. And it's really bad to have a bunch of cavalry or any kind of expensive unit sitting around that you're not using, because you just fall further and further behind.
especially when they're
Right.
especially when they're non-sacred. Yeah, so I mean, this is what we see where man has basically been sitting and researching all game, right, and has been at the top of the income graphs and the province graphs, right, decently high anyway, most of the game. But they're really behind in research, right? They're behind like pretty bad nations in research, right? Which is weird because why? Why? And it's because they've only got a few forts here, because they've been doing nothing but making this cavalry, and they
Right,
haven't been making the
and
mages.
as always, it's
So
not that the research score matters so much, it's what the research says about how many mages you own. And in man's case, they didn't own many before and they owned quite a few fewer this turn.
yeah, man doesn't need a lot of research to be effective, right? Once they have alt 4 Evo 5, Conjuration 5, which they probably have. They're not getting anything
Mhm.
extra until like Enchantment 8, right? In terms of really useful stuff. But they do need more mages, and they just don't have them. Although, it's not like more mages would have helped the permanent
Yeah,
fight. What they needed there was a strategy to take down
yeah.
Arco.
It's surprising that they invaded Arco without some sort of, I don't know, thug based strategy to deal with the
Something.
Colossus. You could imagine like a smasher or a
Yeah,
star of
something.
heroes that would break armor, some combination on like the summoned knights that man has.
Yeah, you need some. You need a group of. Yeah, they've got a couple
Not
of
not
thug
great,
chassis.
not great,
They're
but
not amazing, but a group of thugs, like Pythium did, where they put a group of thugs in the front to try to catch the
mhm.
Colossus if something happened. Would have probably been good, but they didn't have it.
So good job, Arco, for jumping in there and punishing it. Arco Arco
Congratulations,
Arco
Arco.
Arco
You
won.
defeated a 2v1.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
1v2, barely losing anything. He lost a candle. That was it.
Well, the thing is, they seeded a bunch of land to Pythium.
Well, a bunch is a strong word. They ceded a throne province to Pythium and like one other.
Yeah. I,
Which
I think
I,
Arco needs to push. Arco needs to either push into Airyu.
yeah, Arco needs to do something. It's got a research lead. It needs to turn that into an income lead to then sort of be making more mages and then cement the research
The
lead.
fact that they did this without their mystics ever leaving their
Yeah,
path is pretty incredible.
they fought off a 1v2 without ever using their mages for anything
Yeah, this is
useful.
just like we've recently considered that the reign of SCs in DE is maybe a little bit too much.
It's a little much. You see the teleporting angels and whatnot. It's people just struggle to deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like the meta. I don't know. We as the players in DE have to get better at like bringing Moonblade thugs to like every serious army. That needs to be like
That's
a
very
part of what we
tough.
do.
It's tough. Yeah,
Or DE needs to balance the some of these pretenders a little better.
it's tough. Any magic phase Titan that can also expand is just
Yeah,
hard.
incredible value. As
Yeah,
we saw
it's good.
from like Uruk, from Kalem, and they're and from,
Yep.
I mean they're still getting value from it all this time later.